And you, my loves, do you trust the girl?
The leader, though clad like a soldier.
Ah, you've finally given in. Started killing humans. Hey, Witcher?
Started that a while ago, actually. Just wasn't something society was willing to acknowledge.
Foltest death. Society acknowledged that. You know there's a price on your head.
Yeah, I know. Too low for the risks involved, though.
It's a bundle to us, Witcher. We have to pay for everything. Weapons, food, information.
Yorvith send you?
Yorvith will never learn of this.
Careful! He's killed some tough fighter!
corpse is decomposed almost completely. This corpse is decomposed almost completely. This corpse is decomposed almost completely. This corpse is decomposed almost completely. Damn it! This corpse is decomposed almost completely. This corpse is decomposed almost completely. This corpse is fresh. Someone brought it here recently. Clothing ripped in many places. Traces of sulfur. Interesting. The head's in far better condition than the rest of the body. Dark rings around the eyes, like an anemic. Just a few delicate bites on his neck. He's grasping a few long hairs in his hand. The forearms are cut up pretty badly, as if he had to defend himself. There's something embedded in the bone. I can't extract that without special tools. Fingernail marks all over his back. At least he had some fun before he died. A book. Your body sizzled beneath my gentle caress. Sounds like Master Dandelion. These wounds, they're ripped open. Whatever attacked him was ferocious. He was young, just like the others. All the clues seemed to indicate a succubus. Damn it!
Who are you, and what do you seek?
Geralt of Rivia. I seek the standard of the Dun Banner. Who are you?
Eckhart Hennessy, ensign and color-bearer of the Dun Banner, the best force to issue from the land of Kedwen.
You may not remember me, but I remember you.
Where from?
I served in the Dun Banner.
Liar!
I fought beneath its standard at Brenna and at Vergen.
The Battle of Brenna. The Nordlings, shoulder to shoulder against the Black Ones. The Redanians, led by De Ruyter on the right. The Talus leading Temeria on the left. A splendid sight, was it not?
It's nice to chat and all, but I think we'll finish this another time.
Kedmil.
Greetings. What are you doing out here this late?
Thinking?
About what?
About the approaching fight.
As long as the mist of wraiths is up, there won't be a fight.
I ponder something else. We women must leave the shadows. When fighting, we're equal to men, but off the battlefield.
Women are no warriors.
We do everything the men do, and as well as they do. Gender doesn't determine ability.
You know why men command armies? Because they don't waste time on idle chatter. We could argue all night about the injustice of it, but until you show you can get something done, saying that you can won't change much. It won't be easy, but you could try to blaze a trail.
A worthy endeavor in itself, I know. Thank you, Witcher. Godspeed.
Everything all right?
Witcher.
Look, another one.
At your
You let one
service.
human in and in no time you've got a swarm.
Ants they are.
I heard human women need only sit astride a man's pants for their bellies to fall.
Good thing you're here, Geralt. A rhyme for wonder?
I'm no poet.
I know, but you have good ideas sometimes.
Yonder?
Good!
Writing a sonnet for your new muse?
Better than that. I'm composing an anthem for Vergen. Want to hear the first version?
No.
Listen. May those who dream of freedom arise, seeing the sight of liberty with their eyes. Let us go together, become our brother. The choice is yours, you know there's no other. How far shall we venture in this great wonder? Elf, dwarf, and human set forth together yonder. Like it?
It rhymes, kind of.
All right then, tell me what you discovered.
Is it my imagination, or have you become a propaganda mouthpiece for the court?
You know what I really like about this place? There is no court. People are with Saskia because they want to be, not because they have to or should be.
You have a tendency to go from one extreme to the other.
And you have a tendency to shit on every ideal, even the most noble.
I try to take an objective view of the world.
Yet you've joined us. You have, haven't you?
I'm on Vergen's side, at this time.
Don't want to commit, eh? Well, Vergen isn't some whore you can just screw and forget.
You're right. Once you're on a teetering bridge, you might as well cross it.
Finally, spoken like a man. Oh, sorry, that was racist. Wise words, Witcher.
Yorvith seems to have changed.
Everyone changes here. Except you, of course.
I'm not sure I like changes of that kind. I find them hard to believe.
You're an idiot. Saskia's giving Yorvith a chance. If he uses it well, he'll finally be able to emerge from that hole in the ground he's been living in for years. That's the least of it. If he plays his cards right, he can win everyone's respect. People only remember what they want to remember.
I suppose you're right. A free state in the Pontar Valley could turn Yorvith from a brigand into a knight.
Which is why it's useless to wonder why he's changed. I wouldn't trust him with my child. But who knows what he'll become?
My memories and feelings seem inextricably linked. I seem to be recovering both. I believe Yennefer's alive, and I'll eventually find her.
Triss, Yennefer, that's some life you lead, my friend.
First off, we have no idea if Yennefer's still alive. Second, we have no idea if Triss is alive.
True. You seem to have two women, when in fact, you don't even have one.
Their kind doesn't die easily. I believe I'll find Triss, alive.
And Yennefer?
I won't know what to do about her until I see her. My memory's coming back. It's just bits and pieces so far, but I can feel them coming together, forming a whole.
What have you remembered?
A voyage, an endless trek south. I was following Yennefer and the Wild Hunt. I have no idea how long. It got cold. Only old people were left in the villages I passed through, but they all refused to tell me what had happened to the young, to their children. I finally pressed a man for information. He blamed it on wolf packs, on an outburst of drowners and rot fiends. No one mentioned the Wild Hunt.
Did you catch up to the hunt?
I don't know.
Got anything you can follow?
I'm looking. You once mentioned some elven poems about the hunt.
I believe I said they could exist, and they'd be old. I don't know any, but look around. You're pretty good at finding things.
I found the notes of Morton Collis. He was a scholar, focused on studying the Wild Hunt.
You don't say. Interesting. What's he got in there?
The Wild Hunt moves along orthogonal trajectories that accord with dandelion.
Sorry, but when I hear words like trajectories, yada yada something, my eyelids just turn to lead. We can talk about poetry. But scholarship, I don't know. Talk to someone who cares.
One thing's for sure. Letho's not on this side of the fog.
If you wanted to pursue the assassin, you should have gone to Henselt's camp with Roach.
Just because I went after Triss doesn't mean I've forgotten about Letho.
Why do you care so much? It's not your coop or your chickens.
Letho knows a lot about me. There are certain things that probably only he can explain.
I'm not so sure you want to know them.
We'll see.
Let's say you catch him. What then?
I'm sure he wouldn't murder a king without a valid reason. Killing him would be a last resort. I hope it won't come to that. I found a volume of your poetry.
My love poems! Some bastard stole them recently. Probably wanted to show off to a young lass smelling of sheepskins. I really miss this book. It was like being in a brothel with no balls. I owe you one, Geralt, though I don't know quite how I'll repay you. No, actually, I do know. Up for a shot of vodka? It's on me.
I've got a better idea.
Beer? That's fine. All the same to me.
I need you to do me a favor.
Name it. For this, I'd give you my chastity. If I still had it, of course.
I wouldn't be interested.
Don't tell me you need another poem for a Noonwraith.
Worse.
Please, Geralt, don't get me involved in another messy monster matter. I'm an artist, not...
That's precisely who I need to lure a succubus.
Are you crazy? You want to see a hoofed hag ride me to death? On the other hand, we all have to die of something.
Go to the burned-down village after dark and wait for me there.
The peasants now refuse to shovel manure. They dream of fighting, looting.
Lots going on around here.
Aye. Look at the Virgin Dragon. I don't
Hope that...
I think I've heard of them. They will
Hello, Chief.
Rivian.
The leader, though clad like a soldier, had a trembling face.
Damn it.
I see you've returned.
Yes.
The Battle of Brenna. The Nordlings shoulder to shoulder against the Black Ones. The Redanians led by De Ruyter on the right. Natalis leading Temeria on the left. A splendid sight, was it not?
You're mistaken. The Redanian regiments were on the left. The Temerians took the center.
Correct. Perhaps you speak the truth.
Try me again.
Tell me, for this you must know. Who was chief commander of the Nilfgaardians at Brenna?
Menno Cohorn.
I am beginning to believe you. Menno Cohorn, the repulsive head hound of the Nilfgaardian pack, but a great commander. He will again let the Nordlings' blood. Would you agree?
Your memory has suffered after death. Cohorn perished. At Brenna.
You are vigilant. I could not deceive you.
Because I am of the Dun Banner.
Perhaps you did fight at Brenna. It was so long ago I may have forgotten you. But Vergen is another matter.
I can't answer for the state of your memory.
You are right. Memory often fails us after death. I cringe to admit I've forgotten who commanded the armies during the Battle of Vergen. Perhaps the most important day of my life. And the last. Be so good as to remind me.
Seltkirk led Eddern. Vandergrift led us.
Well done. Not all know that. Some believe that the kings commanded the armies during the battle. Or that their mages did.
Do you believe me yet?
Not yet, but I shall when you tell me how you survived the massacre at Vergen.
Most of the Dun died. The survivors withdrew south. The fires blocked our way back to our lines and we fell into Biggerhorn's trap.
I know, the cowardly bastard. You have proven that you served in the Dun Banner.
May I take the standard?
Why do you desire it so?
It will help me lift a curse.
Curses are of no import to me.
This one should be. It has stopped King Henseld's army from advancing.
The unicorn has returned.
He stands at Vergen's gates. With your help, he'll avenge the Dun Banner.
The standard lies in the sarcophagus. Take it. You will also find the sword of Colonel Gondor. Now, it is yours.
Thank you.
Where have you left your mount?
There are no horses here.
True. I would gladly drink with a brother from Brenna, but I am an unfettered soul. Strong drink means nothing, tastes of nothing. Perhaps I miss that most in death. Guard the standard. I grasped it firmly even as they cut me down.
stink. This corpse is decomposed almost completely. This corpse is decomposed almost completely. Guess they'll never learn.
The leader, though clad like a soldier, had a feminine face to stir awe. And the breast,
Greetings.
A maiden
Nobody
I
wants
saw,
you here.
The Virgin of Eden. Blah, blah, blah.
Piss off.
Hello, Witcher.
Can we go? I can't wait to meet this monstrous beauty.
Her beauty's killed several men.
Now you tell me.
Like my friend Dandelion says, we all have to die of something. I'll have my eye on you at all times.
So will she.
Don't let her kiss you.
I don't usually deny women foreplay, but I'll do my best.
Let's do this.
Well, how shall we begin? If our bodies could a song compose, my heart would inquire of your hands pale and fine, if they'd grasp it gently to hold like a rose. Or treat it as a morsel upon which to dine.
Who are you, gorgeous one?
I'm a poet, milady. I've come to praise your unearthly beauty, if you'll do me the honor of revealing your full self.
Indeed. I shall reveal to you all my splendors. Prepare more than your eyes. I am a feast for all the senses. Come with me for the adventure of your life. Fair poet.
I should get Geralt. On the other hand, I've never plowed a succubus.
I am so unsatisfied. Lovers who compose poems praising my virtues. Delightful. But I've never had a true poet perform for me.
Fucking idiot actually went in. I got him into this mess. I'd better get the fool out. Monsters.
I don't remember inviting you, Geralt of Rivia.
Let Dandelion go.
You mean you won't join us? He's come to no harm. On the contrary, he seems very happy.
Like all the other men you murdered?
I've murdered no one. All who followed me experienced unearthly pleasures.
You devour their energy like a swine gobbles spuds.
I need their vital energies. I have no use for corpses.
What will you do with Dandelion?
I shall show you my intentions are pure. I'll release him when he wakes.
So if it wasn't you, who killed those young men?
I can seduce anyone and hold them spellbound for as long as I wish. Unfortunately, one fool fell madly in love with me. Unable to accept my nature, he's killing my lovers.
Who is this lover of yours?
A beautiful elf named Elias.
He asked me to investigate the murders.
His way of throwing you off his scent. Luckily, you're no fool.
The very reason I think you're trying to throw me off your scent.
Did he show you the victims' bodies?
He told me they were buried.
By him. Yet he massacred the corpses first to make it seem as if beasts had attacked the poor souls. I'm content to have you looking into the matter. Just be sure to see it through.
Why should I help you?
I want men to know that I give pleasure in return for their energy. But I don't take their lives. Besides, I can give you something far better than Orens.
I'll talk to him, then I'll come back.
I hope we can seal our friendship then.
I found the succubus.
Did you kill her?
She claims you're the murderer.
You were supposed to kill the monster, not chat with it.
I know what I'm supposed to do.
I don't think so, not if you believed her.
You lied to me. You knew a succubus had made its lair in the burned-down village.
I did. I thought you'd refuse to help me if I told you.
You're right. I don't help murderers.
That is pure nonsense. I killed no one.
Liar. You fell in love with her and murdered your competitors. Succubi aren't exactly the most faithful partners.
True, I love her, but the rest is hogwash.
If I'd killed the succubus, no more men would have perished and you'd have gotten away with it.
You don't understand. She manipulated me like she's manipulating you.
Yorvith will learn of this. You'll hang for your crimes.
You're mad. I'm innocent.
Don't try anything.
Hello, Witcher.
Partisans lot. Damn, soft ground will leave a visible trail. Partisans lot. Damn, soft ground.
Greetings, Gwynblade.
What could Philippa want? Why does she care about Vergen being free, independent?
Like all sorceresses, she likes to dabble in politics. Not one of them would hesitate to sacrifice another life if it furthered their goals.
Quite a one-sided opinion. All? None? Life's rather colorful. It's not all black and white.
Shades of grey, I think. I have no illusions about mages. You know the fate which the Queen of the Valley of Flowers reserved for the Alvan youth. Enid Anglina, known also as Francesca Finderbear, another sorceress. In exchange for the creation of an Alvan kingdom in Dol Blathanna, she sent the Scoia'tael to be butchered, while attacking Nilfgaard's foes from the rear. She had a chance to call it off. She could have opposed the Emperor of Nilfgaard and summoned the squirrels to defend the Valley of Flowers.
Why didn't she?
In the name of a higher purpose. It's what the Emperor wanted. That's why we became bandits after the war. That's why elves are dying, our young murdered by the likes of Roach. And that's why I cannot trust Philippa Eilhart.
Roach could be on the other side of the fog.
In that case, I'll finally get him. I came close in Flotsam.
Been after him for a while?
Ever since he became leader of the Blue Stripes. During his first mission as commander, he ambushed one of my units, cut it down to the last elf. Surprised me for the first and last time. I've been more cautious since then.
So it's a personal matter. Vengeance, a theme straight out of Dandelion's ballads.
The safety of the Scoia'tael demands his death. Of the commanders first appointed to such units, He's the only one still alive.
I noticed there's no Temerian emblem in your collection.
We should not claim something's done when it is not.
You do realize that a dozen others will replace him when he's gone. Possibly dirtier foes, possibly worse.
Better to have a known enemy, you say? That doesn't apply to Vernon. A more determined demon has never walked upon this earth. The longer he is active, the better he gets. I must put an end to it.
Tell me about this Dwan for whom the Scoia'tael are ready to do battle.
Saskia. She's no Dwan. Certainly not like the others. You've seen her. I doubt I need to explain.
She's fighting for a Pontar Valley for dwarves, elves, and humans alike. I thought you despised humans.
I may only be a warrior, but I'm no fool. This is the best we can hope for now, and it's better than the Valley of Flowers.
Have you ever been to the Valley of Flowers?
Dol Blathanna is nothing more than a vassal state of the Nilfgaardian Emperor. They call it the land of free elves, but the Scoia'tael are not welcome. It's another in a string of painful lessons. But a free Pontar Valley could change that. It's been 5 years since the kingdom was established in Dol Blathanna. Over 2,000 elves have settled there. Do you know how many children they've produced? 12 or so. It's no longer the Valley of Flowers. It's the Valley of Sterile Elders.
I'd love to see you tell Francesca that. Anything new about Letho?
No, but I wager he's somewhere on the other side of the fog. I can feel it.
Your Scoia'tael, Elias, is murdering people from Vergen.
Any proof? Elias is one of my best warriors.
No.
Come back when you have some.
Down. Soft ground will leave a visible trail.
You're back, yet the elf still lives.
You lie. You'll never torture anyone to death again.
I was hoping we'd have another kind of fun.
What happened?
You're an idiot. Didn't follow my instructions again. The succubus cast a spell on you.
What happened to her?
She's dead. Go back to town. It's not safe here. For you. succubus is dead.
Thank you. I'm glad you did not give her story credence. The world is much better off without that whore. I promised you a reward and I keep my word. Here are your orens, and take this sword. May it serve you well. Goodbye, Witcher.
We killed most of the necrophages.
Most?
The passage to the lower level collapsed. They won't get out. In time, they'll die off and you can restart work.
Thank you, Witcher. The whole of Vergen thanks you. Here's your coin. Shive, Skaggs, and Zigrim will get the same.
How are things?
Everyone awaits the battle. Some pray, others drink. Zoltan and Yarpan are chasing peasants around the square. They need a bit of drilling. Yorveth's warriors are trying to be inconspicuous, and so they should. I'd feel better if they crawled up the devil's arse and disappeared. But Saskia thinks we don't stand a chance without them.
How are things? How long have you been alderman?
My predecessor was killed 3 years ago. I was one of his advisors. I knew my way round the circus, so I volunteered to manage things. No one opposed me. Mostly I deal with trade and taxes, and I organise assorted matters. In the end, everyone listens to Saskia, exclusively. Me included.
This must be the first revolt ever to be taxed.
We can't feed ourselves nor fortify our walls with rebel slogans alone. But rest easy. Stennis and the nobles won't get a single oren from us. Though, of course, the prince is just waiting for the right moment to get his grubby hands on our finances.
I'm sure his motivations are pure, and he'll do it exclusively out of regard for his subjects. Cecil, do you know anyone who fought in the war 3 years ago?
I did.
Did you fight here at Vergen?
Course.
Philippa claims you know a bit about the battle.
That old cook Henselt, called king by some, thought that Aedirnians were bumpkins who'd ship bricks as soon as his troops crossed the river.
Why did he attack Aedirn?
According to Henselt, Upper Aedirn is the ancient legacy of the Kedweni crown and must be returned to the mother country. Brazen farter.
That brazen farter had a point. If you read some history, you'll know that 300 years ago this land belonged to Kedwen.
Load of crab. 700 years ago, the elves reigned here. And 1,000,000 years ago, these lands were the domain of the worms. If things worked that way, every king could invade a neighbouring land and claim his right to do so because an ancestor took a dump there.
All right. Hensel wanted to conquer Upper Eddern. What then?
He rolled in, got hammered, and rolled out.
Cecil, that doesn't help me much.
It wasn't a battle. It was a slaughter. If I try speaking of it, I'll see it all again. I don't want...
The ghosts of the fallen fight in the mist. They turn into horrible creatures called Draugrs. Eternians, Kedweni, men, elves, and dwarves too.
Bloody hell. No peace even after death.
I want to help them, but I need to know more about the battle.
Very well. Listen, a beautiful day that grew hot later. Very hot. When Vandegrift attacked in the afternoon, he sent a dun banner at the fore. Many of our lads shit themselves at the mere sight of their standard, but we had a surprise of our own. Under the cover of night, we prepared fire pits. Our archers lit them up at the right moment. I still can't believe we managed to fool their scouts. If it wasn't for that ambush, we wouldn't be speaking today. They likely wouldn't be in Upper Eddern at all. We decimated the dun banner, but that was only the beginning. Seltkirk was our commander. Everywhere he appeared, the Kedwenis gave ground. He wreaked havoc among them. Hearts rose at the mere sight of his armour. Then Vandegrift himself entered the fray. Seltkirk met him in the middle of the field. In the end, Vandegrift killed Seltkirk. A terrible death that sent the Eternian ranks into disarray. I thought it was the end of us. Then the sky fell, as if the stars themselves had decided to avenge the death of a great knight. Fire covered the battlefield. Nobody sought the enemy. They were all looking for somewhere to flee. Yes, there were no more friends and enemies, only the living and the dead. They say it was the doing of a Kedweni sorceress who wanted revenge on Vandegrift. Could be true, as Henselt had her executed right after the battle.
Remember anything from before the battle?
As if it was yesterday. Henselt's troops crossed the Pontar the third day after the autumn equinox. Eddern had good spies, so we were ready for them, and Seltkirk lined up our troops along the hills. Our hearts rose at the sight of the banners of Vengerberg, Aldersberg and Gullet fluttering in the wind. Knights and armoured infantry side by side in our ranks. Even the peasants had their regiments. The dwarves were on the left flank. Over 5,000 strong we were. Nobody caring about race or background, like never before. Only King Demavend was missing, but he must have had more important business than defending his country.
You saw the Kedwenis cross the river?
From afar. I saw Vandegrift leading 4,000 heavily armed men. Many a heart sank when we saw the elite bearheads or the armoured banners from Ardcarrig. The dun banner was in the middle, veterans of Brenna. As soon as he set foot on Eternian land, Vandegrift climbed a hill and surveyed the area, as if it was his fief. Son of a bitch was as sure of himself as ever. Upon spying him, I remember the dwarves all dropped their trousers and showed him their asses. Then Seltkirk stepped out in front of us. His white armour shone in the sun. We were afraid a Kedweni arbalist would shoot him, but they too stood as if frozen, and Seltkirk just looked at them and bowed ever so slightly.
You captured the Dun Banner standard?
Henselt's choice troops, and not a one survived. The visitor sent them to their deaths, refused to give them reinforcements. He was a monster in human form. The men of the Dun were real swaggerers, killed a lot of our lads, but for every Dunna, there were 7 Eternians. They had no chance. Aye, we captured their standard. We buried what was left of them in the crypts beyond Vergen. Their standard lies with them. Worthy foes are to be respected, even in death.
I'm going to need that standard. Did you see the duel between Seltkirk and Vandegrift?
I stood half a furlong from them. Never seen a fight like it. Probably never will again. They'd already met once, at a jousting tournament in Ardcarrig. Seltkirk won there. He beat on the visitor so hard he broke his sword. Seltkirk was a true knight, the last of his breed. Vandegrift was so pissed off after that tournament he hanged the smith who made his sword and ordered a special one from a sorcerer. I bet he cut down Selkirk with that new sword.
Vandegrift is dead. What happened to his sword?
Saskia's got it. Good thing too. Only her hand can tame the hatred enchanted in that sword. After the battle, when the flames abated, the scavengers came. They stole everything. Imagine, not a single keepsake or Selkirk in the whole of Edirn. His brother babbles something about a gauntlet, but he's a lying dog.
Thanks, Cecil, that was helpful. I think I know what I need to lift the curse now.
Madame Eilhard claims you need 4 symbols. The standard symbolizes death. Vandegrift's sword stands for hatred. What about the other 2?
I have a feeling Philippa has a handle on the rest.
Here's hoping you're right.
Saskia needs help, Cecil. Philippa can produce an antidote, but she needs a magic artifact to do that.
Would you like a fern and a dancing worm to go with it? Listen, I don't know about magic, but there is a place, as long as I can remember, it's been of interest to sorcerers. They say it's a very strong intersection. Look for magic there.
Where exactly is there?
Seek out the ruins in the forest beyond Bergen. There's a place of power there. You can't miss it. Why so glum? Saskia's a tough girl. She'll bounce back. Keep your head up.
Thanks, Cecil.
No, Witcher. I thank you. Save that lass, and you'll save my town.
Greeting. What's the rush?
Don't try anything.
Ah, greetings.
Shove off!
I'm watching you.
There goes the PC.
Pray tell, what compels you to disturb the Prince of Edirn, Witcher?
I have a few questions.
And you believe I should answer them instead of setting my dogs on you?
I think your Royal Highness has enough foes, here, abroad, in Vengerberg.
The intricacies of succession are not something I wish to discuss with an itinerant monster slayer.
Succession is the topic of choice in about every inn in the country. I don't know for sure, but I think the Hangman of Vengerberg was the last to claim the throne.
My patience has its limits, and at present, only my respect for Lady Saskia restrains my anger. Come to the point, or leave me be.
Tell me, why are you here and not in the capital?
The influential nobles seek to undermine my rightful claim to the throne. Unrest ripples through the kingdom. Saskia has muddled the minds of the peasants, and the burghers demand more rights.
And your opponents are seizing the opportunity.
The Umraut family, in addition to being wealthy and influential, is closely related to the royal line. They could halt my coronation and put forward their own candidate. The families that remain undecided are the key. They must back me. They will do so only once I've shown myself to be a strong candidate. And greatness is something I can achieve only here, at the center of events.
And in the process, steal a little fame from the Dragon Slayer of Vergen. I need royal blood.
As you know, I've yet to be crowned.
But blood of your royal ancestors flows through your veins.
True, but that doesn't mean I'll shed a drop for some vagabond. Are you a witcher or a vampire?
I need it to save Saskia.
I need you to live. Don't bother me with such audacious proposals.
I'm trying to figure out where this fog came from. What exactly happened here 3 years ago?
Henselt's mages committed mass murder. A dark day for the knighthood and all people of honor. But it was honor that allowed us to survive. There was no defeat, no victory. Honor stood against wickedness, virtue against black magic.
You took part in that battle?
My father stayed in the capital. He was to defend Vengerberg. I took to the field. I wanted to stop Henselt before he crossed the Pontar, but I was too late. So I decided to await him at Vergen. Henselt's army was exhausted. We would have triumphed if not for that heinous act. Henselt had mages with him, and they cast a treacherous spell on the entire battlefield. A fiery rain fell from the heavens. Destructive, murderous embers which brought the battle to an end. I gathered the few survivors and withdrew deep into the country. The soldiers were terrified, but Henselt showed no desire to pursue.
Only a master mage could have cast such a powerful spell, and I suspect he could not have accomplished it alone.
I remember Sabrina Glevissig. Through the flames I saw her observing the carnage from her mount, dressed in a hunting suit. Straight-backed, dispassionate.
Sabrina. If I remember correctly, she's Henselt's advisor.
Was. Henselt condemned her to death for casting that spell. The Kedwenis roasted in their armour, just the same way the Edurnians did. You know what struck me when all hell broke loose? What I found astonishing and even amusing? Going into battle, we sang our Edurnian songs. They intoned their Kedweni hymns to Creve. But when fire descended from the sky, our cries of pain were no different. We all wailed as humans. For an instant, the magnitude of the tragedy brought together our two warring nations.
I still have no idea where the spectral fog came from.
I'm afraid I don't know either.
Be well, Prince.
Greetings.
So, you thought it over? I'm on my way to the recruiting station.
I don't know.
What's to consider? Yorvith's not just any trouble.
Elves, they talk a lot and think very little. In the end, they end up
You wanted to discuss something?
There's proof that the Wild Hunt is a vast accumulation of the power. Something that would interest mages, you'd think.
To the mere mortal, anything that is not immediately comprehensible is suspect, the product of a conspiracy. And where there's a conspiracy, well, it's obvious mages must have hatched it.
I'm a mortal, though probably not a mere one. I found the notes of a man who spent his entire life...
Paranormal phenomena interests Cynthia, my, intern. Take this up with her.
I've got Triss's bandana.
Have you learned anything?
Triss was here. Letho forced her to teleport.
Why would he? There are easier ways to travel.
Two of Letho's comrades, probably those responsible for Demoven's death, were hiding among the Scoia'tael. When it became evident in Flotsam that the Kingslayer wanted to dispose of Yorvith, the Scoia'tael leader gave the order to eliminate them. Letho had to reach the unit before the Elven messengers did. He could only do that by teleporting.
I assumed that Triss wanted to teleport to me, but she missed the mark and they ended up in the gullies. What happened next?
Letho left her in a gully, wounded. He probably thought that she'd diversify the local trolls' diet. He himself went to see the elves and massacred the unit with his comrades. They're somewhere on the other side of the fog.
What about Triss?
She escaped from the troll. Everything suggests she's somewhere in the area.
I can assure you she is not in Vergen.
She has to be here. Locate her.
I'll try, but it will take some time. Have you learned anything else?
Sheila ordered Letho and Triss killed.
I can't believe that.
Believe it. I ran into some mercenaries she enlisted to kill Letho and anyone found with him.
She must have meant the other Kingslayers. Are you sure she knew Triss was with him?
Are you so sure of Sheila? There was something going on between her and Triss. I sensed a lot of tension.
A misunderstanding.
Maybe. Let's find Triss and clear everything up.
I need some time. What's going on out there?
Let's see.
What's going on?
The peasants want to take pitchforks to King Demoven's son.
Why?
The Dragonslayer's servant is spreading rumours that Stennis poisoned Saskia. The commoners are in an uproar. They want to dispense justice.
Where's the prince?
Barricaded himself in his room, guarded by nobles. For the moment, the peasants are still respectful, but they are feverish. A fight is inevitable. Help us out. The situation is dire. I'm going to inform the other nobles.
Dogs growl at cats, cats hiss at the dogs. The noble's a wolf to a peasant.
Forget those animalistic similes and take care of it. I'll try to locate Triss. And should anything happen to Prince Stennis, remember, we need his blood.
I remember.
I wouldn't mind a closer look at your swords.
What's this? Ardent hues of green. Beaver!
You associate with sorceresses?
Godspeed, Witcher!
Say she's dead. You're stupid. She just fell unconscious.
The commoners claim it's our prince's doing.
Such judgment is above their station.
I believe it's Henselt's provocation. He wants to drive a wedge between us.
Serfs and lords will never be on the same side as their stations do. They're playing it.
Geralt! It's good to see you.
The commoners claim Stennis is involved in Saskia's poisoning. They're looking to slaughter him.
Nobody to keep things peaceful?
Scalen Burden and his dwarves are trying to contain the mob, but they're badly outnumbered.
The plebs will yell a lot, beat someone up, and go home. As peasants do.
That would be foolish. They're not serfs anymore. The days of them humbly sowing and reaping are gone.
Looks like things are getting nasty.
Hear me! What do you want? I'm Scalen Burden. I keep order in Vergen.
Or doing a nice job then? Where was you when they poisoned Saskia?
Give us the prince! Get the flails!
Stop!
Yorvath.
Squirrels! Everyone who wants to leave this yard in one piece, keep your hands off your weapons! I don't care if you're a serf or a lord. I'll kill you all if need be.
What's going on?
The servant carrying wine during the feast said that Prince Stennis and Olcan poisoned Saskia. We want justice!
You want revenge. It's not the same thing.
We don't care. Saskia's fallen as if dead, while the poisoning prince and noble lords rush to herd us onto the field and sell us to Henselt. We won't let them!
You lie, Colton. Nobody's being sold out. The poisoner must be caught and tried by law.
Your law? What then? He'll pay a fine and get spanked on his ass? We'll spank him all right, with an axe to the throat!
Where's this servant?
Safe. The Scoia'tael keep an eye on him.
Why is the prince hiding in his house if he's innocent?
Enough! I'll shoot the first to reach for a weapon. Then heads will start falling.
There's more of us. You can't kill every...
Then you'll be first. Now back off! We need to act quickly.
What's your plan?
I'll frighten them a little. Bleed them if need be. I'll buy you some time, but be swift. I can't hold them off for long. Question the peasants and the nobles, and talk to the dwarves. Maybe you can get to meet Stennis.
Even if he's guilty, I'm sure he's prepared a suitable story.
You'll know how to sort the sheep from the goats. Also, find the servant who started talking so suddenly. You won't have time to talk to everyone, though, that's for sure.
Roll it down, you surly dog! Change your tone when we put a... Saskia's on the pier with Henselt at the gate.
Say, Witcher,
Wraiths
come over
from the
here.
mist and commoners and nobles are at each other's throats.
What do you want?
We of noble birth always had to protect the plebs from their own stupidity. If not for us, the world...
I don't have time to listen to songs praising the nobility. Know anything about the attempt on Saskia's life?
No, I don't. But whatever the truth, the mob cannot lynch one of royal blood.
So truth means nothing to you. That's what makes us different.
I didn't say I don't care about truth. Just keep in mind there's a world order that mustn't be destroyed.
An order that allows injustice.
If the prince turns out to be involved in this attempted murder, he should face a tribunal. The rabble doesn't understand the principles ruling the world.
Or they do understand them and simply don't like them.
Saskia is a wise woman, but there's one thing she doesn't take into consideration. This war will be over one day. Who will sow the crops and milk the cows then? Saskia called the serfs to arms. Do you think they'll want to plough fields again?
You may be right, but it's certainly not my business who'll plough your fields. Farewell.
Give us this horse-plower!
What would the prince gain with the virgin's death?
I could tell you what he lost with her life.
Change your tone when we...
As I...
Why is he lingering about? Like the stench in a dwarven hovel?
Those witchers be craving gold. This one's sure to say the prince is innocent, then sting Stennis for a pouch.
He'd better search for a lad who served the Virgin instead of pissing around.
Yeah, once done with the prince, he'd better take care of the magnets. Throwing their weight about too much they are.
You know Saskia's servant?
Willie of the Oblates. He handled the wine, indeed, but loves the Virgin like a sister and mother put together.
He'd gladly get quartered for her.
Where's this Willie of yours?
Hiding in his shack, afraid of them lords. Squirrels guard him.
The prince stood right next to Saskia during the council. Did he have access to the wine cellar beforehand?
How should I know?
Why flap your mouth then?
The prince is a wealthy lord. Bribing a skivvy to poison the wine is nothing to him.
Just because someone can afford gold teeth doesn't mean they'll pull their healthy ones. What's it really all about? Who's backing you?
We want justice.
We don't need no one backing us. We knows what to do.
How would you punish the prince?
If a lad counts hens wrong, he'll be flogged. What should we then do with a man poisoning others?
Kill him.
A land without a ruler is a nightmare.
We have a ruler, the Virgin of Eden.
It's not certain she'll live.
Then we'll choose another who'll manage, but he must be one of us lads. That way he'll understand us.
And all people is gonna be equal, our way.
And the non-humans?
We have enough dung on the fields. Let non-humans find a non-human land.
Away with them!
Farewell.
Give
Guilt
us
must
this
be
whole
proven.
flower.
Otherwise, it's
Roll it
vigilante
down,
justice.
You sally grant you that, Reinster.
The prince has it coming.
If not for that damned Yorvith, the serfs would probably be hanging the prince by now.
They say someone cast a spell, and the Virgin fell as if
Thick as
Nobody will
believe me any
horizon.
I've been looking for you.
I don't know you.
You caused quite a commotion. Afraid of something?
No, nothing.
You're lying.
I didn't do nothing. Didn't say nothing, don't know nothing, and didn't see nothing.
Tell me everything you know about the attempt on Saskia's life.
I heard the priest talking with the prince. This goody-goody said the Virgin is really a beast under her fair skin.
What priest?
Olcan, the one killed.
So there's no way I can check if you're lying.
I swear on my mother's grave I speak the truth.
What else did you hear? Tell me.
I was put in Saskia's room in order when the priest came to the prince's chamber next door. They wasn't speaking loud, but I heard the priest say, "Just clear the servants from the kitchen. Nothing more. Reverend Olcan, only he could tell you how it was, beginning to end.
The dead aren't very talkative.
What about what they leave behind? There may be clues or some such.
Maybe.
What should I do?
Famous murderer.
Just our luck. He knows no mercy.
When I saw it, I could barely stand on my legs.
If the gods truly favour Lady Saskia,
sway.
they should get us.
I had a dream. We were mining up the face of the tide.
They lie in wait for their lord and prince. Humans are an odd lot. I certainly hope Scalen can clean up this mess. What can I do for you, Witcher?
I need to know where Reverend Olcan used to live.
Simple. Let me show you on the map. It's about right here. See you, Governor.
I never finished telling you about the Canary. So, we were working...
I heard. Shut your trap if you don't know what's going on.
If not for that damned Yorvith, the serfs would probably be hanging Warren.
They say someone cast a spell, and the Virgin fell as if dead.
Could be. Sorcerers are a plague of the worst kind.
Don't try anything.
My pentacles intrigue you?
Indeed. I'd like to see them up close.
Let's start with introductions then. I'm Felicia Corey, and you're Geralt of Rivia. Why the surprised face? I heard about you in school. Whether you like it or not, you're a hero of contemporary history and of the love stories we read beneath our blankets.
You studied at Aretusa?
Yes, though I'm still to finish my potion and fetish internship, which is why I'm here.
And you're doing it under Philippa Eilhart's watchful eye. Any way I can help you?
Help from a hero of our readings? Now that's drawing on sources for real. I'd be grateful. The locals are reluctant to buy magic items, and I really need to pass.
Let's see what I can do.
Thanks.
Ho-ho!
That would be something.
Hey, aren't you the one who captured Yorveth back in Flotsam?
I might have.
Up yours, traitor!
I got a serious career proposal yesterday. From one of your best lads, eh? They dragged me too. Squirrel.
How do you see it? Do the gods favor Lady Saskia, as she claims?
Take care.
Strange aura. Nothing interesting.
How up?
Perhaps we should wait. It's gotten late.
You hugged a bear. Oh, the eminent Philippa Eilhard. We'd best erect a monument to commemorate.
Hang them all by the balls and let them swing.
Who will the Witcher side with?
Maybe he has good intentions. It's good to see someone's taking
Go get the
care of-
lads. We won't stand for this.
My hand!
I'll cut the block off the next man who dares try his luck.
Why is he lingering about?
Though, one step.
Farewell.
Give us this horplower!
Rolling dung, you
I'd gladly hear your opinion on the situation.
Finally, someone reasonable. It's obvious Henselt bribed some serf who then did what he was told.
That's interesting.
Just think it through. The prince couldn't have done it. The wine was in plain sight. Only the servants touched the decanters, and who are they? Commoners. Then that same commoner incited his folk to stand against the nobles and the prince.
Something to think about.
Enough of this charade!
Try to be reasonable, folks. Sit down and talk in peace.
We've talked enough! Come on, lads, let's drag the prince from his hovel!
Vergen's not a cesspit for anyone to shit in. There are laws to abide, and Scalen Burden's job is to uphold them.
There's no law allowing a serf to threaten a king's scion. I, Silgrat, brother of Seltkirk, the greatest knight to walk Edirnian land, say so.
Does it matter who was born in a castle and who in a pigsty? Any fool can prejudge and condemn. It's easier to accuse than to prove guilt.
A peasant servant claims that Prince Stennis supposedly attempted to kill Saskia. Why would the prince do such a dastardly deed? Bear in mind how eminent is his lineage.
That's why! The mongrel covets the crown!
Do you even remember how valorous he was towards Saskia during the negotiations with Henselt?
Pretending to be with her he was, sly fox. Taking the simple peasants in. But us lads ain't so dumb as you lords think.
See for yourselves how the commoners hate the prince, spitting venom like adders. They hatched a plot to dispose of him.
Saskia's servant said that...
Where is this servant, might I ask? If he's got something to say, why does he hide like a thief? The answer is simple. He's a fraud.
He's hiding to save his skin from you, whoresons. Squirrels have to guard him.
One last question. How could the prince poison Saskia? It's a known fact that servants taste wine from the barrels before the virgin sips it.
A good point. We can't be sure if the prince poisoned the wine.
Stennis is blowing hot and cold. Everyone knows that.
You were supposed to prove his guilt, not insult him, yokel.
Tell us who else would do it. A peasant wanted to hurt the miss? Never. It's cause of her you noble dogs can't ignore us. A pig won't cut its own throat. A peasant's not foolish enough to raise his hand against his saviour.
Perhaps it is no peasant's deed. However, that doesn't mean the prince is guilty, fool.
Answer me this. Was not Stennis' room next to Saskia's? Do not the wines come from his own lice-ridden cellar? Can he not enter the Virgin's kitchen at will? Yes. His serene dumbhead the prince can, curses on his kin. Nobody in Vergen wants to kill Saskia. And even if they want it, nobody but Stennis could do it.
You're wrong, Colton. Reverend Olkin wanted to get rid of Saskia. He thought she was a monster at heart.
Olkin was on Stennis' leash like a dog.
How dare you, lout! Do you imagine if someone sits next to a married lady, he's surely fucking her?
The priest tried to convince Prince Stennis to join the conspiracy.
Is Stennis some dimwit foundling that he dances to a lousy priest's tune? Olcan got what he deserved when Henselt cleaved his head. Now it's Stennis' time.
There is no proof the prince agreed.
The priest asked him for admittance to the kitchen.
So he didn't poison the Virgin himself, but allowed her to be poisoned.
Those are just words. Too much guesswork and not enough evidence. You can't convict anyone based on that.
Your Highness, this is dangerous.
I am not afraid. Fear is a commoner's trait, unfit for one with royal blood running in his veins. What do you want, to judge me? Is a prince a common thief who steals a dozen eggs at the market? You stand before royal majesty, and you raise your hands against it. In this world there are crimes that can be forgiven, and crimes that, by any means, cannot. Just as a mother killing her own child, or a man slitting his own brother's throat cannot be forgiven. A crime against one anointed by the gods themselves also cannot be condoned. He who raises hand against divine right is not worthy to walk this world. And what about he who poisons the Virgin of Edirn? Firstly, Saskia is alive, so no one can blame me for her death. Secondly, you have no proof that it was I who tried to murder her. And thirdly, I assure all gathered here, I won't rise above the law. However, only she, the Virgin of Edirn, can judge me. Can he? And if Saskia won't get well, who's gonna judge you? I believe she can be cured. But if the gods decide otherwise, we'll summon a coven of the wise who can pass just sentence.
Those are words worthy of a true sovereign!
I am the one you should look to for guidance. Let my deeds be the flame that lights up your darkness.
The prince has a right to a fair trial, no matter if he's guilty or not. We can't deny him that. What will the peasants do if we hand them the prince? Will they hear him out? No. They'll hang him from the nearest tree or tear him limb from limb. What will happen if we allow a lynching? What if people see that might makes right? Who'll guarantee they won't desire to avenge their wrongs, real and imagined? Who'll protect people whose only fault is noble birth from the exasperated mob? And where will it lead?
The peasants are furious.
They didn't dare mount a frontal attack.
But they haven't forgotten about Stennis, and won't. It'll be that way until Saskia regains consciousness.
She won't keep order by strength alone.
Unless it's a great strength.
We need an authority figure, and royal blood.
5 courts go to waste in the Dwarven dungeon at the moment.
There's also Henselt.
Going into that haunted mist is madness. Stealing Stennis away would be easier.
No. Anything involving Stennis will cause a riot.
I've had enough of the peasants and nobles barking. Saskia's the best leader I know, but she can't hope to defeat Henselt's army with this rabble, which is why I'm going to get reinforcements.
Where?
4 Scoia'tael units await in hiding to the east. Time to summon them.
You'll make it in time?
I must.
So, you got it over. I'm on my way to the recruiting station. Adam.
I tried locating Triss, but the mist disrupts the megascope. There's a weak signal nearby, probably on the other side.
In the Kaedweni camp?
You'll have to pass through the mist.
There's no time to lose.
I'm continuously scanning the battlefield. I'll show you the way through. I'll find you when you enter the mist.
Farewell, then.
We still need royal blood.
I know. Henselt.
We need his blood, not his death.
How many times do I have to tell you I'm not a Kingslayer?
You wanted to discuss something?
I found one of the ingredients for Saskia's cure.
Show me. Interesting. Getting warmer, but still not there. It's as if I'd sent you to get me the sun and you'd brought me a candle. We need something massive, an item of real power, Geralt. This is a dwarf's dream. Stolen and magically encased in this crystal. It would do if it were stronger.
You know what this means? In addition to normal harpies, there are Solano in the area.
Solano?
Dream Snatchers. The only harpy species to develop something resembling intelligence. They magically bind dreams to mountain crystals. I heard they once inhabited this area. Solano live among regular harpies, but their lair should be full of stolen dreams. One of those would be powerful enough, I'm sure.
You'd have to enter the harpy lair through the quarry. Unfortunately, the gate to the caves is locked and Cecil Burden won't open it. I asked him on another occasion. Stubborn as a mule, that one. But we must not relent. Saskia clings to life by a thread. Let me show you the desire contained in this particular dream. Don't be hasty to judge.
Yes, I can feel it. Whose dream is it?
Cecil Burden's.
In that case, I need to see the alderman. Got a feeling he just might open the gate for me.
You wanted to discuss something? Remember the antidote for Saskia. It's very important.